Traditional women uniting with non-traditional men is a disaster in the making, hence why we should avoid them. But would you know a non-traditional man if you met one? Hi ladies, this is Tree from treeoflogic.com and welcome to my channel, Just Tree 411. Last week, I uploaded a video titled 7 Places to Find Traditional Conservative Men. And now it's time for me to warn you ladies about the non-traditional men. Because you may find them or meet them at one of the places I named last week. Ladies, it's very important that you know when you're talking to a non-traditional guy. And this is why I'm making this video. You must remember to always avoid men with secret intentions that will result in trauma for you. As traditional women, having relationships with non-traditional men will destroy your self-esteem, make you second-guess your self-worth, and thus cause you to be damaged goods for the next guy. I'm here to help prevent that. From now on, I want you to date with a purpose, intention, and goals. For example, I found out a couple of weeks ago that I have a lot of female subscribers who are under the age of 23. For you, I suggest that you only date men within your own age group. Avoid men who are 6 years older or more. When dating a traditional man within your age group, his salary is going to be under $40,000 to $50,000 a year, depending upon his location. Do not count this against him. We all had a starting place when it came to our yearly salaries. As long as his income is steady and growing, don't count him out as long as he wants to marry you and start a family. It is unrealistic to expect a man who's between the ages of 18 and 24 to make a 6-figure income. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule, but this is not the norm. So the purpose is to become best friends without having sex. The intention is to get married, and the goals are to start a family, help him increase his income, and strengthen your marriage. This is the complete opposite of what non-traditional men want. So to help you avoid these type of men, because they will definitely seek you out, here's what to look for. 9 traits of non-traditional men. Trait number 1, they avoid titles. Non-traditional men always want to give the impression that they are available to other women. They do this by not introducing the women they are romantically involved with as their girlfriend, their partner, or their queen. Say, for example, one day you and this guy are out for a walk in the park and he bumps into some of his co-workers from his job. During the introduction, he says, "Mike, Tommy, John, this is my friend Jessica." Now, you have been cooking for this man, doing his laundry, talking to him and texting him every single day, in addition to giving him the yum yum. You do all of this and he refers to you as his friend? Now, believe it or not, this isn't his fault. It's yours. When you meet a man who is interested in you, the first thing you need to know before you exchange numbers, what is he looking for in a relationship? If he says he's not looking for anything serious, then tell him to have a nice day and keep it moving. What some traditional women do is assume that this man wants what she wants, or she believes that as long as she does her traditional duties, she will win him over to receive a title of girlfriend, spouse, or maybe even fiance. You'll never have to deal with these games when you're dating a traditional conservative man. Non-traditional men want to be independent, while traditional conservative men want to have you on their team. So be transparent from the start and see if they live up to their word. This will save you lots of time and embarrassment. Trait number 2, they lie by omission or blatantly lie. Non-traditional men are often disingenuous or secretive. They have ulterior motives that opposes your traditional values. They can only achieve their hidden agenda through deceit. This requires either lying by omission or just tell blatant lies. Lying through omission is when he purposely leaves out an important detail. For example, a non-traditional man will pick you up for a date in a nice fancy sports car. You're so impressed with his ride that you ask him, when did he buy this? He looks over at you and smugly says, "This car? I got it today. I couldn't wait to bring this baby home." However, it's a rental that must be returned in 3 days. That's the part he left out, which is lying by omission. A blatant lie, and let's use the same scenario. When he tells you that he bought the car today, he'll say something like, "I got 3 more like it at my mega mansion," when in reality, he lives in a studio apartment and he has a Honda. Non-traditional men love to pretend to be something that they're not. They do this because they feel insecure as men or they have low self-esteem. Traditional conservative men simply just don't play these games, and neither should you. Trait number 3, they avoid accountability. This is probably the most toxic trait in any man, and I absolutely despise it. Never taking accountability for their actions. When it comes to a lot of these broken, non-traditional men, they've gotten this way by hooking up with damaged liberal women. These types of women always display red flags. But because these men are so caught up in her assets, they ignore all the red flags and go right on in. She in turn cheats on them, uses them for money, gets pregnant, thus basically getting child support from these men, or cause them some form of emotional trauma. They take that one experience from that one woman and apply it to every woman that they meet for the rest of their lives. And now he's seeking revenge, vowing to pump and dump every woman he can get his hands on, thus creating more victims. Every time I talk to these losers, I ask one question: who chose her? They always ignore the question. It's never their fault. "I was trying to do the hoe a favor by making her my wife. So what? I knew she was a stripper when I met her, but she didn't appreciate that I was a good man. How is it my fault for trying to turn a hoe into a housewife?" Number 4, they make awful best friends. I always tell traditional women that they should always make their partner their best friend first. So it's best friend first, husband second. And non-traditional men don't want to be either. Remember, your best friend is there when you need him, even when it's inconvenient. He listens to your problems and gives you sound advice while he shares his thoughts, fears, and goals with you, in addition to constantly keeping in touch by calling you or sending you nice text messages. This is way too much work for a non-traditional man, girl. All they want to do is stick and move. But if they have to do all of that, they will simply move on to the next woman. You see, non-traditional men make awful friends, so it's impossible for them to be your best friend. But if you refuse to be sexual with them until the best friends level has been achieved, they will quickly lose interest and stop wasting your time. Yay! Yay! Woohoo! Trait number 5. They either avoid or refuse marriage. Non-traditional men always complain about modern women embracing feminism. However, if you look at the actions of these men, you will see that they too embrace feminism as long as they are benefiting from it. But when it doesn't work out in their favor, they will endlessly complain. You see, feminism teach women how to embrace their sexual power. This is great for non-traditional men just as long as they can benefit from women being promiscuous. However, they get furious when it results in them paying child support because they don't use condoms, or contracting STDs because they don't use condoms. Now, this doesn't happen to all non-traditional men. The rest marry modern women with obvious red flags, which results in some form of trauma that will cause him to be broken. And he will blame the institution of marriage for his bad decisions. So when you as a traditional woman are approached by these men, casually ask them to give you their opinion about marriage. Luckily, most will just flat out tell you the truth that they reject marriage, while the rest will either avoid the topic or talk in code. They will explain the relationship they want, and it may sound like they're explaining marriage, but the more follow-up questions you ask as you pick apart their narrative, you will eventually get to the truth. They do not want marriage. And believe it or not, I agree that these type of men should never get married. Now, if they would just stop producing bastard kids, we will be halfway there. Nevertheless, we as traditional women want marriage. They don't. So once you find this out, stop wasting your time with these men and keep it moving. Trait number 6. They don't like their mothers. When modern women embraced feminism, it destroyed families, careers, cultures, etc. It caused modern women to be neglectful mothers who depended upon others to raise their children. Some of these women just didn't want to be mothers and just gave complete custody to the biological father. This gave them the option to reset their life and start all over as a single woman. Her actions will cause extreme emotional and mental trauma in her male child, which will cause him to experience extreme anger and have abandonment issues. And he will spend the rest of his life taking it out on other females. He will develop a vengeful mentality of punishing other women. You see, when he punishes other women, it is an indirect way of punishing his mother. So when he hurts you as women, he hurts his mother. And this type of thinking is easy to detect in these type of non-traditional men. Do they speak highly of their mother? Do they respect the decision she made while he was a child? And does he want a woman that is just like his mother? Unless these men receive counseling, they are dangerous, and dealing with them will never end well for you. So avoid them at all costs. Trait number 7, they are quick to have sex with you. This one is not going to take long to explain. Simply put, these men are trying to get in between your legs as soon as possible. And this is so obvious with how he communicates with you. They immediately get sexual. They don't care about your day, could care less if you're feeling well or if you suffered a death in the family. Their only purpose is to stick their eggplant inside your lasagna. So they'll ask for nudes or they will send you their eggplant pics. And they're always asking sexual questions. What's your favorite position? When was the last time you had some? Did he satisfy you? These men are so obvious. But the problem is that most women are beta, which cause them to be tolerant of this type of behavior because they don't want to hurt his feelings. Listen, ladies, these men don't care about you. The sooner you get rid of them, the better off you'll be. And if you're too nice to tell them this directly, then do this. Every time they get sexual, you get religious. And it doesn't matter if you're religious or not. This is a guaranteed technique that will get them away from you. Hello? Oh, hi, Mark. How was your day?
It could be better hearing you moan while I'm busting them guts.
It seems the evil has possessed you, Mark. But like Jesus said to the devil on the top of the mountain, get behind me, Satan. But don't worry, Mark. I'm going to help exorcise the demons out of you. I'm going to read to you Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 18. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not with the flesh and blood, but... Hello? Mark? Mark? Oh, God, I thought that would never... Trait number 8. They are all hypocrites. The best way I can explain this trait is simple. Rules for thee, not for me. Non-traditional men are famous for having double standards. They look down on women who have a high body count, but want to add to her body count. They reject marriage, but try to shame women by saying, "Where is your wedding ring?" It's right here. They complain about the growing rate of single mothers, but pressure women to have unprotected sex. And they have the nerve to tell women that they hit the wall at 30, but look like this at the age of 28. We as traditional women hate hypocrites. We hate hypocrisy. So ladies, elevate your frequency so that these losers are never detected on your radar. And last but not least, trait number 9, they embrace or support Black culture. Now, I don't want you all to think that I'm promoting the leveling up movement, but facts are facts. At least 95% of the people who support Black culture are left-leaning. However, there are a small percentage of Black men who are conservative, but they're pretty small in numbers. Personally, I don't believe any traditional woman should limit herself to one particular race. Every man, regardless of his race, who accepts and supports Black culture are never traditional conservative men. Their values are the complete opposite of our values. However, if you really like chocolate, then go for the ones who separate themselves from the community and the culture. Trust me, they're out there. And there you have it, ladies. 9 dangerous traits of non-traditional men. So what do you think? Do you agree, disagree, or do you think there's something I missed? Whatever you have to say, leave it in the comment section below. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button and share this video with other women. And ladies, if you haven't subscribed to me, what are you waiting for, girl? Come on and subscribe to my channel. My name is Tree from Just Tree 411, and I'll see you all on my next video. Later, taters.